Chemistry Kim here. Today we're going to be looking for some of the tracks that you might find from creatures in your backyard. I found one here at the library. Look, right down here. We think it's a raccoon print. You can see all of its toes and then the pad of its foot right there. Hey, Kim, what do you think this is?
It's a nice uniform track with no toes.
Misty, that's my footprint.
Okay, well if that's your foot, whose is this one?
Wow, I don't know. That's a big footprint.
You think we might be looking for a Bigfoot?
We might be. Wow, look, we found a spider web. Even tiny animals like spiders can change their environment. See how the leaves have fallen down into the web? And that
Chemistry Kim, come see what I found.
Oh, come on, let's go.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's Bigfoot fur.
It looks like yarn to me.
No, this is fur. This is Bigfoot fur. You don't know, his coat might look like yarn.
Well, there's only one thing we can do with it. Back to the lab.
All right.
I'm sure this is Bigfoot fur. Bigfoot is a super tall creature that leaves huge footprints on the ground. The weird thing is that no one has ever captured conclusive video or found evidence to prove Bigfoot exists.
That's interesting.
Yes, a lot of people have tried tracking him, but no one has succeeded yet. I think we should find him.
I don't know if that's something we could easily do in the course of our show, but we could talk about how to track the animals that live in our backyards.
Good idea! Then later, we can work up to tracking Bigfoot. I like how you think.
There are a few ways to track animals. One is by looking for the marks they leave when they walk on the soft or wet soil. These are called footprints or tracks, and you can often tell by looking at the size, shape, or spacing of the tracks to determine what animals left them. It's kind of like how each pair of shoes has a different pattern on the bottom.
This is a model we made of a footprint that could belong to Bigfoot. This is just some styrofoam packing that we glued together and covered in paper mache. Paper mache is just strips of newspaper soaked in glue and water. And then, after it dried, we painted it kind of a foot color.
Another way you can track a creature is looking for tufts of their feathers or fur. Sometimes these naturally fall off or get snagged on branches. You can also track animals by something they leave behind called scat. Not that kind of scat.
What other kind of scat is there?
Scat's another name for animal poop.
Ew.
Everybody poops. The size, shape, texture, and color of scat can tell you a lot about an animal in your yard. You can also look for ways that an animal affects its environment in order to track a creature. Birds make nests in trees, and larger animals will often break branches as they walk through scrub brush or small plants. Now that you know how to track an animal, maybe even a Bigfoot, let's find out how to make a creature from legend and lore of our own.
So I'm going to show you how to make a really neat Bigfoot windsock. We're going to need some stuff first, and this is what we're going to need to get started. We've got glue. You can use the bottle, the stick. You can even use some tape. We're going to need some safety scissors, a black and brown crayon, and we're going to need some googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, you can just take a piece of paper and draw some cute faces, any kind of face that you think your Bigfoot might have. We're also going to need some soft paper, like wrapping paper, a paper sack, or newspaper, and we'll need some stiff paper, like this. Maybe even a manila folder, if you happen to have it around the house. And now we can get started putting our Bigfoot together. Okay, next we'll go through the steps to make our cool Bigfoot windsock. First, we're going to take a piece of our stiffer paper, and we're going to trace our hand 3 times and our foot 2 times. And then we're going to take our safety scissors and carefully cut those out. We've already done that for you right here. We've got a couple of hands and a couple of feet. We're going to put one hand aside for later. Now, the second thing we're going to do is we're going to take another piece of our stiffer paper and we are going to cut it into 4 strips. We're going to take those strips and make an accordion fold, which looks like this. And we've also done that for you. And they're right here. So your papers, your strips, will look like this when you're finished. Now, our next step is to take one of the accordion folds and tape it to the end of each hand and each foot. And again, we've got some prepared. So here we have our feet and our hands on an accordion fold. Step 2 of our Bigfoot windsock is to make his face. So we're going to take that third hand we cut out, turn it upside down like so. And then we're going to take our googly eyes and we're going to glue them onto the front of that hand. If you don't have googly eyes, you can also use any kind of face that you may have drawn to go on your Bigfoot face. And we've already put that together for you here. We have googly eyes with a little nose that we drew, and we have a Bigfoot with a face that we drew. All right, step 3. Bigfoot is a hairy guy, so we are going to need some soft paper so that we can create a lot of fur. You can use newsprint, you can use packing paper. In our case, we have used these paper sacks. So the first thing we're going to do is take our paper sack and we're going to color it a little bit black and a little bit brown to create kind of a brindle look. And we've already done that for you here. Okay? Next thing we're going to do is take our safety scissors and we are going to cut small strips all the way up the paper bag. Okay? And you are welcome to ask an adult or someone older than you to help you. We've already gone ahead and done this in advance. And this is what it will look like a little hula skirt. And you'll want your whole bag done just like this. Step 4 of our Bigfoot windsock, we're going to make his body. And we're just going to take our stiff paper and we're going to roll it into a cylinder like so. And then we'll tape it together so that it looks like this. And we've got one prepared for you right here. You can see how it's a cylinder all taped together. Now, if you don't have stiff paper like this, or you don't want to take the time to do that, you can use some other things that you may have in your house already to make Bigfoot's body. Okay, this is step 5, our last step. It's the assembly of our Bigfoot windsock. So we have our cylinder already made, and what we need to do now is put a hole on each side of the cylinder. You're going to ask a grown-up to help you with this. And then we're going to run a string through the holes and tie it so that our Bigfoot can hang. Okay, so next we're going to put on his fur. So we've got our soft paper, our paper sack that we used, colored, and you can color Bigfoot fur any color you want. But we're going to tape it starting at the bottom like so and make layers all the way up and all the way around our Bigfoot cylinder. And we've got one fixed for you already so that you can see what it will look like. This is our Bigfoot that we have covered in Bigfoot fur. This is a big cylinder like we have right here. And if you did a smaller one, he can look kind of like this. And you can decide whether or not he's got spiky hair, or you could color him purple, or do anything that you want to do to make your Bigfoot your own. Next thing we've got to do is add his face. And we're going to take our little hand that we made earlier, okay, and we're going to glue the face at the top of our Bigfoot cylinder, like this. You can just use tape, or you can use a glue stick and get the face right on there. The next thing that we're going to need is our hands and our feet so that we can put those on Bigfoot. All right. Same thing, glue stick, And we're going to attach our feet under the fur at the bottom and attach our hands under the fur at the sides. And we've got one already made for you so you can see what the finished Bigfoot will look like when you're done. And here he is. Face, hands, feet, and all.
Have a legendary day!
Wow, talk about creatures of lore and legend. Now I want to try to track Bigfoot.
Yeah, me too. Well, I have this really fun graphic novel. It's called Bigfoot Boy Into the Woods by Jay Torres and Faith Aaron Hicks. We follow the woodland adventures of Rufus as he finds a magical item that gives him amazing powers.
Well, I found another book about creatures and the footprints they leave behind. It's called Step by Step by Lauren Leedy. This picture book shows pictures of a whole ton of animals and what their footprints look like. Animals like ducks, deer, and rabbits.
Oh my!
That's a good one.
I have another book here. It's called Animal Tracks and Signs by Ginny Johnson. It talks about kinds of animals, how big they are, where they live, and more importantly, the life-size tracks on the page.
Remember when Chemistry Kim was talking about animal scat?
Yes.
Well, check this book out, Who Pooped in the Park by Gary Robson. It talks about all sorts of things that you can look for if you track animals around you. It even helps you identify the scat of animals that you might see in the woods.
Wait a minute, is that a poop book?
Yes, it is.
It's kind of gross, but I like it. Well, I have this book here. It's going to be closer to home because it is about the Florida Bigfoot. And this book is called Beast, Face to Face with the Florida Bigfoot by Watt Key. We follow the thrilling adventures of Adam as he tries to go through the swamp to re-encounter his face-to-face with the Florida Bigfoot, even though no one believes it. So he is hunting for answers on that first encounter.
Well, now it's time for me to take all these books and go check them out to track animals in the woods.
Wait a minute! Won't these people want to check out these books at their local Marion County Public Library?
Oh, that's right. But how can they do that?
Oh, that's easy. With a magic trick that is right here. Pick a card. Any card.
Oh, I picked this one.
Oh, good choice. Because with this Marion County Library card, you can check out all these in your local Marion County Public Library. So go on, check out all these.
Oh, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you better check these out.
And have a scientific day!